get those bets in for the primetime games, and that's what we do here on the drive-thru Monday through Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Is our live free sports picks for the games beginning at 7 p.m. Eastern Time and later. And to deliver those winners, our professional handicappers over at Pick Dogs and Sports Chat Place. Let's take a peek at who's on the show with us today. It's a fearsome foursome here for Tuesday's action. Tony Brown, Alex Smart, and Jay Briggs. And here's how they'll line up for this evening. We got Smart, Brown, Briggs, and then I will close this one out. All right, NBA on the board tonight. 6-game card action with college hoops action on the ice as well. So let's get this drive-through ready to roll here. College hoops action tonight. Let's bring in Alex Smart. You'll catch him over at Pick Dog Stream. He's putting great numbers up here at the site. Alex, what's happening?
How you doing, Tony? We're going to attack some college basketball tonight, and we're looking at Iowa State Cincinnati game, and pre-ramble here on Iowa State. They've really had an amazing. We all knew. Well, a lot of people knew that Iowa State was going to have a decent basketball team this year, but hey, man, top of the Big 12 standings, top 10 in the country. I mean, this is just really amazing. They've what they've done it. They've done it with two-way basketball, but it's their defense, I think, that's throwing everybody off. 3 Big 12 opponents to their lowest point totals this season: TCU 59, Houston 53, and Oklahoma State 42. This is one tough group, two-way basketball team. And a little preamble here on the Bearcats. They're going to go against a Bearcats team that were actually picked to finish 11th in the Big 12 preseason poll. And I didn't really think they were going to do all that great. I mean, this is a tough team. They've done a lot better than I thought they would, and that comes because of their amazing rebounding. I mean, this is a hard-working team that averages close to, what do we have here? We have close to their most rebounds per game in the Big 12, 41.04. That's just, it just blows me away. So, they're outworking everybody really under the boards, under the glass. And, this is just a hardworking team. Now, this is where we lead into why I believe Iowa State gets the cover tonight, probably the straight-up win. You see, after that game against Houston this past weekend, man, you just could see the look on that team. I mean, they were exhausted. Houston really pounded them with physical basketball. And Cincinnati, came right back, played hard, and still couldn't win. So now they're going to be physically, emotionally let down. And you got an Iowa State team that just rocking and rolling. They've won 2 of their last 3 road games. By the way, they just won their 14th straight at Hilton last time out. So this is a top-tier team. And, hey, I just like the points here. I like Iowa State. I really don't think Cincinnati can bring the heat tonight to, bring them down. I know they want to. I know they need to. But you don't always get what you want.
There you go. Alex here on Iowa State here, plus the 1.5 here against Cincinnati. A Cincinnati team that's dropped already, 3 games at home in conference play to Texas, Oklahoma, and to Houston. As we said, again, they've had their trouble against the bigger teams, right? Kansas on the road, they got pounded, but the loss to West Virginia is the one they're going to hate the most because when they're trying to make a case here for the NCAAs, that one's going to sting a little bit. They're 4-6 in conference. But again, the issues here with Cincinnati, as you said, they do. They're great on the offensive glass, but man, they can't make a 3. They have struggles making free throws. They struggle inside. When you look just at conference numbers, that's where they've had their problems.
Yeah, that's a strong conference. And I really, like I said, I really didn't think that they would play this well. And they've done well, but hey, it's just it's not enough.
It's a big jump.
I don't think. Yeah, it is really big jump. Yeah.
From AAC to this.
They've got to be beaten up by now. This is just too much of a schedule for a team like this to handle. The way they play, you can just see the exhaustion. And I wouldn't doubt that sometime in the second half tonight, we see Iowa State run away with this. But hey, crazier things have happened. But like I said, I repeat myself over and over again, we're going to take the edges. And the edge here is with Iowa State.
Iowa State has a win at Texas. They won at TCU. Even though it was a home game, it kind of a shock to the system there for Houston, beating Houston at home.
Yeah, that's the big one, and only allowing 53 points. That's just amazing basketball. Now, are they playing above themselves? Well, that is a possibility. Are they going to slump? Are they going to be upset at some point? I just don't think tonight's the night. So.
I like the fact they forced the best in forcing turnovers in conference. defend and shoot. Here, Alex here on Iowa State here, plus the 1.5 here against Cincinnati. This one's on tonight here at 7 Eastern time. You'll be able to watch it over on ESPN2. All right, Alex, let's take a look over at Pick Dogs for tonight's action. Of course, we do have NBA on the board tonight with a 6-game card. Lots of college hoops action on the ice. Alex has been on a tear right now. You see over the last 30 days, 1,700 and 94 units of profit. All documented over at Pick Dogs Room. So you can verify those numbers simply by going to Alex's handicapper page. Go to Pick History. You'll see every play that Alex has released. It's been on a tear right now. What do you have going over at Pick Dogs Premium?
Well, I've really been crushing it with totals for over a month now. Yeah, $19,000 in profits for my dime players. 86.50, 63% CB totals run. I've got CBB, college basketball, 3 totals on for tonight. Like I said, test a 63% run. We've got some NBA sharp money late steam. That involves the Sacramento Kings at Phoenix Suns. Get the side there, like I said. Alex Smart Sports says CBC side smash. And I've got one selection that I sort of pinpointed tonight for a side that I really like, and it's a later game. So join me for that. And, of course, an NHL Totals Power Play. Been really picking up in the NHL, ready to head over 500 for the season and make some profits for everybody who joins me. Like I said, we've got a full schedule. We've got a full month ahead. Lots of profits on the way, guys. Join us. Let's make some money together.
That's right, guys. Again, I'm here with Alex Smart over at Pick Dogs. Maybe see the great results here. 1,794 units of profit, and also going profit here for the year. For the last 7 days, Alex has been on a tear right now over at Pick Dogs Premium, NBA and college basketball in the profit. No better time to get the long-term pass. You guys like that 7-day pass here on a Tuesday. Get all of Alex's premium plays for 7 days, all his hoops action as well as hockey. Remember the promo code PICK at checkout will save you that 15% off. Multi-capper promotions, even greater value there. All right, Alex, as always, great having you on the show. Continue that great success in 2024, and we'll catch up with you again in a couple days.
Yeah, you too, Tony. You had a great year. Good. Great action, man. Good to see you.
Good to see you.
I'll see you on Thursday.
See you Thursday. Take care. Hey, Alex Smart here on the drive thru. Let's continue on here. Up next, let's head over to Las Vegas, Nevada, where that was a centerpiece. That the Super Bowl looked great over in that city. Tony Brown, how's everything going? Bring him in right now. Catch him over Pick Dogs. I mean, I will always remember the Super Bowl with these great shots of the Allegiant Stadium overlooking the Vegas Strip. Man, that was money there.
Yeah, that was amazing. I did everything but go to the actual game. It was hands down the most electric thing that's ever happened in Vegas. That includes when we had the NBA All-Star game, the EDC, the New Year's parties. Like, it's just something about that energy that the NFL brought. All the people that were coming from visit were great. Like, it was amazing, man. Super Bowl here was top notch. It's definitely a bucket list thing. If you can catch a Super Bowl in Vegas, if we ever have it here again, you should do it.
Well, the word is it's going to be on the six city rotation. People like going to Vegas, and it was the most watched game. And there's a lot of pageantry in Vegas, as you can see, with all the all the attractions so close, easier people get around. Weather could have been a little better, but people didn't care because they were indoors most of the time.
Right. I mean, I think the only thing they should work on is the pricing. I mean, I know this is a lifetime event and things of that nature, but it seems just like all throughout the year, the guys who are buying these Budweisers, the guys who are rooting for these teams and wearing these jerseys, is just the average Joe. And then when it comes down to the Super Bowl, like, you have to be part of a corporation or something to go. So I think if they can do a little something with the pricing so we can get more of the average fan in there, other than that, it's a 9 out of 10 situation, man.
Yeah, there are some really good spots off strip. I know South Point. They have free parties. If you go up, if you ever seen the Super Bowl at South Point, you can go up in their little convention centers upstairs. Food was relatively inexpensive. If you went down to Fremont Street, you had The Offspring did a free concert on Fremont Street. So there's a lot going on outside of the strip as well.
Yeah, you had to be in the know, definitely, for sure. And they definitely did some stuff outside of the game. Like I said, that was real cost effective, if not free. So it was a good time to be had by all. I don't think anybody complained. I was just talking about for the actual experience of seeing the Super Bowl in the stadium. It was kind of pricey, but for the most part, all the Super Bowl experiences the NFL had, all the pop-ups, and just the natural things that we have here in Vegas, it was 10 times to the max with the tourists and the NFL experience. And everybody becomes a handicapper and an expert when it's only 2 teams left. It's like, who do you got? Frisco, KC, and it was a million opinions on the game. It was great.
And as you said, sometimes the locals can be a little grumpy whenever there's a lot of people in the city. But you say they were welcome arms from the locals.
Yeah, seriously, like when the people from California come invading our city, and when the F1 people came out here, and New Year's, because people are usually rude. Like, you're throwing trash all over. You think it's just a human party all day, but we live here and stuff. So usually we're not the most welcoming city, I guess, or whatever. But it was no problems, man. Everybody was out here to party. Everybody was out here to have fun. They were real respectable. It was a lot of people from Cali that came because San Francisco was in it, and even they didn't give us too many problems. So. It was just different. The Super Bowl hit different.
Yeah, no doubt about that. All right, so now we transition here to hoops here for a while. March Madness coming on. Of course, we know spring training is also beginning here for the LA and San Diego teams. But tonight we go to Big East action. Bottom of the hour features Marquette and Butler going head to head with Marquette road favorites 3.5. Totals it's 154.5.
Right, I love this game right here. This is a dream spot. From now on the show, I'm only going to give out games that I love. I mean, I always gave out games I thought would win. I've never tried to give out any losers, but these are just games I absolutely love, and I think they're gifts. I think that this is one of the best spots ever to fade Butler right now. They're not even a really good team. The last time these two teams met, they were 11-point underdogs, and they happened to pull off the win outright. So now, like, the odds makers, it's back at home. They showed they can beat them. They've, like, settled the line down to just 4. I think Marquette absolutely tears them apart. One, it's a revenge spot. They were 11-point favorites at home, and Butler snuck up and beat them. And since then, they've been on a tear. They haven't lost a game. They've been 7-0 since that last loss to Butler, and now they get a chance to avenge that loss. I think they tear Butler apart, and the 3.5 is way too low. So we're going to take Marquette minus 3.5 for the play of the day.
All right, we got Tony Brown here on Marquette, lay the 3.5 here against Butler here, beginning in just minutes here in this one. Yeah, Marquette has been on fire. They did beat Villanova twice in this spot, and they also went on the road, beat St. John's, which is not easy to do, and Georgetown and Villanova, as we mentioned before. So they've had some road wins in this spot. But more when you look at the numbers here against the Big East, Shaka Smart has his team playing great. Number 1 in defensive efficiency against the Big East, and they're number 2 offensively, smacking them from 3, and really doing a great job of scoring inside.
Right. I mean, and we all know Shaka Smart. Like betting against Shaka Smart, that's not smart, no pun intended. He's always got his team ready, and he's always ready to do some stuff. Just not that good. Like I said, the clock's right twice, even on a broken clock. The Detroit Pistons got to win and stuff like that. No one's just going to lose all the games. So they were happy to pull off the upset or whatever, but this time around, I don't think they're going to be so lucky. They're only averaging like 40 points a game. They're one of the worst offenses in D1 this year.
And they are pretty much. And of course, we grind away with college hoops. We're about a month away from the conference tournaments. Tony Brown, some of your teams here that you like here hitting the Final Four, maybe not be like the favorites, but some of your dark horses here to hit the Final Four.
I mean, always, we're going to go with Duke. Duke always has a chance to win. Even this Marquette team right here, when you got Shaka Smart as your coach, he's known for being a giant killer in the tournament and stuff like that. But I just really think this is Purdue's year too, though. Like, that dude Eddie is a monster, like literally and physically. He's 7'6" or whatever. He's the biggest kid on the court all the time. Purdue had a good team. They lost last year with that, upset. So they're hungry to come back to get it. They're having an absolutely fabulous season. So they look like last year was an anomaly, and this year they'll be able to take it. So I really like Purdue, but like I said, Marquette's good with Shaka Smart. Duke always has a chance. And then these are college kids. That's why the NCAA tournament is one of the best tournaments in the world, and March Madness is good. You only got to be good for 6 games. You only got to be hot on that day. So you get your number 1s versus your number 16s, and all those JUCO transfers and stuff get to acting up, and bam, there goes your upset. So it's anybody's tournament, and it's going to be a good one to watch. I can't wait.
Yeah, we saw San Diego State make it to the final last year. Although they did say that 6-year option, with during those times may have helped. We're not going to have that extra year for a lot of these players. But anybody in the Mountain West get your attention this year?
No. Like, I hate saying that or whatever, but no, I just watched San Diego State, and they were favorites. They took on Nevada. They couldn't even get it done or whatever. And then UNLV, they're not as exciting this year or whatever. The Mountain West is kind of down. So if anything, they be that team that you catch on SportsCenter that pulls off some type of upset or something like that. But it's funny, like you mentioned San Diego State, because they went to the Final Four last year. I was out in Houston. I actually got to go watch that game, and I thought they definitely make some noise. They had that returning senior Butler and all that, but it just came back kind of flat. So as far as Mountain West competition, not so much this year.
Not so much this year, although some folks are saying we'll keep an eye on this team in Arizona called Grand Canyon. We'll see if they could be giant killers. you got an opinion there, Tony?
I mean, no, they only have 2 losses this year. Like, so I see what people are saying. They're a D1 team, so technically they're one of the best teams in D1. They're 22-2 or something like that. But I think they played like pickup ball against some guys from the gym and stuff like that. I don't think they've seen any real competition. To me, they'll be one of those teams that's one and done in the first round because they haven't played anybody.
There you go, Tony Brown there. With his opinion here on the Grand Canyon team, one of the mid-majors out west, Gonzaga. Although that was a big win they got against Kentucky, that's one they had to have.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, like I said, it's college basketball. It's any given Sunday, but not on Sundays. It can be a Monday night, Tuesday night. These are college kids, and then with the way these kids are built nowadays, as far as we'll go to any school. Like back in the day, it had to be UCLA, Texas, Kansas, this and that. Now, man, we getting a scholarship to go to any school. You got some of the best players in the country at some of the worst schools in the world, whether it be grades or, you know what I mean, recruiting process, this or that happened where we couldn't go to the top tier. So you catch a lot of these upsets that really shouldn't even be upsets. Like when you look at the athletes on the floor, like, wow, these guys were the underdogs.
Yep, that's right. Okay, so Tony Brown here, Marquette here, laying 3.5 against Butler, bottom of the hour. All right, Tony Brown, let's take a look over at Pick Dog for tonight's action. Of course, on the board tonight, we've got action from the NBA with a 6-game card. Also, a lot of action here from college hoops. Action on the ice. Tony Brown's been on fire on the ice. And we're going to let Tony Brown with his victory lap in the NFL, completing a 6th-great campaign in the NFL, 2,064 units of profit. Had a winner there on the Super Bowl, showing also great profit in NHL, 918 units of profit. What else is new? I've been talking with Tony Brown for years, and every year, NHL. He's hot on the ice as always. Tony Brown, what do you have going over at Pick Dogs Premium?
Yeah, man, I showed I didn't want to be a one-trick pony. You know, like you mentioned before, NHL all the time, top of the rankings, MLB, we're always sneaking in there. So this year we had one of the best football seasons ever, 2,000-plus units. I think I was the only one with 2,000 units. We definitely finished number one and made more money on the site betting football than anybody else. So if you want to get in on that football package, you can jump in right now for the VIP all-sports year. It'll take you all the way to this time next year, which is Super Bowl. We absolutely crushed the Super Bowl with Kansas City on the money line, finishing the year off perfect. And you can get in now on the year past, and next season you'll already be locked in, along with my baseball, NHL, NFL. Every single pick I release, you get that with that pass. So we got a 3-pack on there tonight. You can bang your bookie 3 times over. I really love the picks. Go ahead and parlay those. You get a 6-to-1 payout. Buy the pass. Get on for the whole year. And just start making money with me all year. That's what we love to do. I don't want to take your money. I want to take your bookie's money. So it's one payment, one low price, VIP, 365 days to play.
That's right. Great value there. And, of course, no better time to get on board with Tony Brown over at Pick Dogs Premium. Great results, as you see there. Great results in the NHL as well from Tony Brown. Also, for the year, all sports combined, 632 units of profit. Hot in the last 30 days. Hot yesterday. So every time you get on board with Tony Brown, get that 1-year all sports pass, because before you know it, baseball will be here, and we got 15 games a day in baseball to go over. So he'll be ready to roll with baseball handicapping, NBA playoffs, NHL playoffs, back into the NFL when it starts here again, as well as we get into preseason in August, and of course college football August, September. So this calendar flies, man. So no better time to get on board with that 1-year all sports pass. Big is a promo code, save that 15% off. Right, Tony Brown, as always, great having you on the show. Continue that great success, and we'll catch up with you again in a couple days.
All right, man. I appreciate being here, and I'll see you guys on Thursday.
See you Thursday. Tony Brown here on the Drive Thru. Let's continue on here on the show, guys. You ever miss a pick on the show, we always recap at the end, so stay tuned. Let's continue on here on the Drive Thru. Time here for Jay Briggs. You can catch him over at Pick Dogs Premium. Also catch him morning shows here every day here on the Pick Dogs YouTube channel. Bring in Jay right now. Jay, what's happening?
Tony T, what's happening, my man?
Things going great. All right, NBA tonight with Jay as these Pistons, although the Pistons are an interesting team, sometimes they run on 4 cylinders, sometimes 6, sometimes they have their 8-cylinder game. We'll see what type of cylinder game they have tonight as they face the Lakers here. Lakers getting some momentum here. Well, I was listening to some LA talking. These guys are already talking, we're going to make the 6 seed. Hold on. We'll see how it rolls here. But anyway, Lakers laying 10.5, total 243.
Do you have any update on injuries before we start here in this basketball game, Tony?
All right, let me go ahead and hit the refresh again. because I hit it 5 minutes ago, but things can change on an instant here in this NBA. Let's see what we got tonight. All right. Grimes and Stewart are out here for Detroit. Vincent, Vanderbilt, Reddish, Christie out, and still, of course, the questionable tag as always for Davis and James.
Yep, that's what I was waiting on to see. Day-to-day James and day-to-day Davis. I expect these guys to play, guys. I'm expecting them to play. The line seems to indicate that they're going to play. Pistons, they low-key might be the hottest ATS team in basketball. It's kind of crazy. They're the worst team in basketball, but they've been covering recently. Got to give them some credit. They came back and got a cover against the Clippers.
Oh, yeah. We had a heated discussion on that one, didn't we?
Yeah.
Saturday show, that one got pretty hot.
Yes, it did. But that was a fun game. Here's the thing. I think the Lakers kicked the crap out of the Pistons tonight. I do. I really do. I think it's that time of season the Lakers are going to start heating up. Talent-wise, the Lakers, if they come in here and play their style of basketball, they should win this game by like 15-plus. Because Detroit has been playing a decent style of basketball recently, I think they're kind of overvalued. I think this line should probably be like 12.5, in all honesty. And because of the news of LeBron and Anthony Davis still looming, I know they have Utah coming up, so I wouldn't be surprised if one of them sat. But we've seen when one of the guys sat, we've seen the other guys step it up. Might be a huge Reeves game, might look at some of his overs. D'Lo might have a nice game tonight. I just think this is a Lakers-style spot at home against a team they're definitely head and shoulders better than. So I'm going to lay the points in this one tonight, Tony T, with the Los Angeles Lakeshore Lakers.
All right, likes the Lakers thinks Pistons are going to run on 4 cylinders on their engine tonight. You just never know what you're going to get from the Pistons. But there's a couple of guys here on the Pistons that we've been talking about. Jaden Ivey, Jalen Duren, who has been showing something. Of course, we know Cade Cunningham, but Ivey and Duren has really been putting up some numbers.
Yeah, their usage has kind of been more up than it was at the beginning of the season. The Pistons have kind of found their identity recently. Is why they've been better. Early season, they didn't know what they were, didn't know what they wanted to do, or how they wanted to play, and their coach didn't even know how to try to connect with these young guys. But I like Monty Williams, and as the season has gone on, you kind of see this team start to take his identity. They're starting to listen as the season goes on because, you really have no choice. It's your job to respond. And I think that's really been the main thing for Detroit. They're still, talent-wise, probably 29 of 30 in the NBA.
Yeah. Well, and honestly, this is pretty much. I don't know if they are, but looking at the roster, this has to be about the youngest team in the NBA. That's why he wasn't too hard on these guys when he went through that down cycle early on.
Exactly. And so I'm not surprised to see as the season goes on, Ivy start to play again how he started to play last year. And then who was the other guy? Oh, and Duren, Jalen Duren as well. He was kind of banged up to start the year too. So now that he's been healthy, he's been playing well. They traded my guy Burks and Bogdanovich. Remember, Tony T? I've been crying here on the drive-thru for them to trade Bogdanovich to the Mavs.
Yes.
And they traded him to the Knicks. But
I kind of like the move. Well, they're stocking picks, and interesting that you don't see them trade picks. But I was intrigued because they traded 2 second-round picks to the Jazz for someone that no one knows about except they've been watching drive-thru when the Jazz had all these injuries. Simon Fontecchio, the second-year kid from Italy, he came over here from Utah. He put 20 points against the Clips, and I think this guy can be turned into something.
Yeah, he might, man. You never know. Yeah, everybody knows I love my foreign guys. You might, work his way onto the list.
Yeah, second-year guy there who's been getting some things done here. Now we're going back here on the Lakers side. Of course, they made a move here. I don't get excited about waiver guys. I know out here in LA, everyone's all excited, thinking, "Oh, we got Spencer Dinwiddie," but you have to clear waivers. He's a waiver dude. And the reason I bring this up because when you kind of look at his body language, so for an NBA player of his status, it's got to be a shock to the system that you're bought out, and you clear waivers, man. Man, it's just, looking at his body language. It doesn't seem a lot of confidence. Hey, man, I was on the bench. I was getting a lot of time. Now I sat. I cleared waivers. Nobody wanted me. I'm a waiver guy. How does that work psychologically with the player coming to a league when even the teammates know that you're a waiver dude coming in?
I like Dinwiddie. Remember, Dinwiddie was here in Dallas.
We talked about that possible trip of him in the trade, right? We talked about Dinwiddie.
I honestly thought he was coming back here, to Dallas, and he did an interview the other day, and they asked him why he didn't come back to Dallas, and it was the weirdest answer I've ever heard.
That's what I'm saying. His head looks a little, doesn't look all right.
And
maybe you're better off without him.
I think so.
Yeah.
Maybe. If when he's on, he's a nice, serviceable player, and the Lakers could use him. But when he's off, there's a reason why the Nets let him go as well, and why the Mavs were easily to trade him for Kyrie Irving. So, we'll see if it's good Dinwiddie or bad Dinwiddie in Los Angeles. I believe he's in there tonight, correct?
Well, he's in there tonight, and here's one of the reasons why he got moved out of here. He averaged 31 minutes a game, but his field goal shooting 39% from the field, not from three. He just had struggles here shooting the basketball. Actually, no, 39% from three.
From three. The prettiest jump shot.
Yeah, no, actually that's 39% overall, 32% from three. So here's another guy that can't make a three. That's all they need. Well, let's see. If he could make a three, if he was in the 39-40, he would be traded, or he still would be with the Nets. But his shooting percentage has just tanked here.
Yeah, not the best effort out there from Dinwiddie recently. Shooting is not his best aspect. He can hit sometimes, but consistently, I don't know.
The stats tell you who you are, Jay.
Yeah, they do.
I don't think too many Laker fans aren't looking at stats. They're just like, oh, we got Dinwiddie. A kid from he's not. Remember out here. He was with Colorado Buffaloes, and he got injured, I think, that first year. Spent time in Detroit, spent some years in Brooklyn, went to Dallas for for a cup of coffee, then got traded to Siberia and Washington, then went to Brooklyn and Dallas, saw some time in Dallas, and then Brooklyn, then had a weird answer when they said he'd rather go L.A., which still is up. But he went from Colorado. Let's see, we don't know. I can't look up here where he grew up in. Sometimes. I thought for some reason he might have had a SoCal. Let's see. He was born in LA. There we go. He was born in Los Angeles. So there is something to be said here. Sometimes these local guys, when they come home again, that's a big boost. So now it makes sense that he came to LA because he's from Los Angeles. Went to Taft High School. He graduated with honors, by the way. and listen to this. Listen to this. He was smart enough to go to Harvard, but he took Colorado because he can compete in the Pac-12. What about that?
Yeah, that's interesting.
That's right. That's interesting there. So Spencer Dinwiddie back home. So I have to take back some of those words I'm saying because he's coming back home. That might give him a little bit of a boost, as we saw with Harden, right? All these Southern California guys with the Clippers.
Yeah, we'll see what those Clippers do. We'll see. There's only one guy over there that got hardware. We'll see if the other guys can get.
All these guys carry themselves like they have hardware,
Exactly.
But for some people, as they say, like Kyle Kuzma, the bag only matters.
Yeah, Kyle Kuzma, he's a losing basketball player. He had the opportunity to get traded to my Dallas Mavericks, and he declined. He said he'd rather stay in Washington. So. I mean, you rather stay over there. He'd rather stay over there, be the man, and be terrible. I get it. Instead of go play winning basketball.
He likes no pressure. Likes to hang around, have fun, party. No pressure. There's no expectations in Washington. Sometimes just get the money and run.
Yep. Put up some shots. Put up some points. Go home.
And nothing else, by the way. If you look at the Washington stat line, if you look at box scores, you see points. But not a whole lot of assists, not a whole lot of rebounds at all. A lot of fouls and a lot of turnovers, but nothing else.
Nah, I'm with you. They got a cover against my Mavs last night. I was kind of upset.
Oh, well, yeah, there was some, again, the ugly dogs in my model, it told me to go against Indiana. I didn't have the cojones to go with, was it Memphis? Who covered against Indiana yesterday? Charlotte.
I didn't have the cojones. I took them on the jam session, but on the premium side, I didn't have the cojones either. I should have.
I mean, I don't understand how my model basically modeled out for the Hornets to lose and cover, but man, I just didn't have it.
The Hornets. The Hornets, they're a different team. They're just a completely different team because of all those trades. So now they got some guys over there that that like they actually want to play basketball. Before they didn't have guys. The guys that are over there now, like Grant Williams and like there's a few other guys, like they're gonna try, and might be better than what it's been in Charlotte here recently.
Yeah, and of course, Kupchak stepping down as team president, maybe that was a reaction to that. But that whole team is going to get gutted. That Clifford gone again, like I said, they traded the coach that got him, I think, to the play-in round, and then they went downhill. They brought in Clifford. Oh, we need defense. We don't want to be an all-offense team. Well, Borrego had you guys winning and shooting and hitting threes, and then you go to Clifford, who's a defensive specialist, an old school guy from the '90s, and look what happens. You just go the other way.
Right.
It was just a bad run there. What do you make from this?
You asked Tony Brown a very good question earlier. Who's a team he could see going to the Final Four? I got one for you. They're in action tonight. You actually talked about them already on the show. I like them tonight as well. I like those Iowa State Cyclones, man. I'm on them boys, man. Hey, that's a really good basketball team right there. Alex, I think, summed it up best. They are really great defensively. They've been really great defensively for a couple seasons. And they're really good offensively as well this season. So they're a great two-way team, like he said. Hey, watch out for them Cyclones. I think they could win the Big 12, shock Kansas, shock Houston, Baylor, and Oklahoma. Oklahoma was my dark horse at first, and I still like them as well. But Iowa State, watch out for them.
Watch out for Iowa State. Of course, I'm going to ask Jay here. Okay, which team from Texas will go the farthest in the tournament?
Great question. They're all decent, not great. TCU, Texas Tech, Baylor, Texas. Probably, I got to go with Houston. I have to go with Houston. I think Houston's the best out of the bunch. I think Houston can make a Final Four run too, even if they don't win the Big 12. I think they're a complete team as well. That would be my answer. Probably Houston and then Texas Tech.
All right. All right, we got some Big 12 teams, but there's another team from a small conference that can make some noise. Do you know where I'm going there? From the state of Texas? From a smaller conference? The chat will probably get it. Not Sam. Someone put Sam Houston, not Sam Houston. Come on, guys. You know this team. When I say this, you guys are going to get upset. You guys are going to get upset when I say this.
Slipping my mind.
They defend like crazy. This should be a hint to you at all. This should give it away.
North Texas?
North Texas. There you go.
North Texas. There you go. I like North Texas. North Texas, they're a great defensive team for a couple years too. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they did a little run. Usually, I don't think last year they didn't make it. They were in the NIT last year, I believe.
Yeah, there we go. We got some folks in there with North Texas. North Texas is a team that can I mean that. I bring that up because we saw the FAUs. We've seen some teams, San Diego State. We've seen some teams really get in there with defense and really rebounding and clutch play down the stretch.
Yeah. That's what starts to really, play well as the season goes along. That's what travels. Offense doesn't always travel when you're on the road and when you're in these big stadiums with a lot of people. Sometimes them shots, them legs be dead. But defense can usually count on defense.
Can usually count on defense. Keep an eye on North Texas and one of those teams here. We've seen North Texas make some noise. Of course, UAB is showing something a little bit too. So that conference there, AC's got some really defensive teams there to keep an eye on. We'll see how that rolls here. Jay here on the Lakers here, laying the points here tonight against the Pistons tonight here at 10:30 Eastern time. All right, Jay, let's take a look over at Pick Dodge for tonight's action. Of course, we got NBA on the board tonight with 6 games on the board. College hoops as well. Jay will give you some picks on the ice. Look at the numbers in NBA this year, monster. 2,052 units of profit here. You can check it out here over at Pick Dogs Premium. What do you have going over at the site?
At the site tonight, I only have one play for sale, and it's my NBA play of the day. I absolutely love that play tonight. You guys can hop on that play. Having an extremely great season. But I do have more plays for my long-term clients. I have 2 plays in there. I have another NBA play, and I am active again on the ice tonight. So you guys can hop on something long-term, and you can get all 3 plays tonight. You can pair me up with one of the guys here at Big Dogs Premium. Hey, I've been hot, man. It's kind of crazy. showing profit for the year, last 30 days, last 7 days, and not 24 hours, but we'll fix that tonight. So you guys can hop on with me, man, as we continue to try to kick the crap out of the books.
That's right. Indeed, get on board here with Jay Briggs over at Pick Dogs. Jay's been on a tear right now, as you can see in the NBA. 2,052 units of profit. All sports combined for the year, 1,543 units of profit. Get on board with a long-term pass. Remember that 30-day pass gets all of Jay's premium plays NBA for 30 days. Some action on the ice, as well as college hoops all the way to the start of the conference tournaments. Pick is a promo code. Save that 15% off at checkout. Also, Jay, you have that all-access club out there for big players.
Yes, sir. You can join my All Access Club. It's for the guys that love betting the NBA pretty big nightly, the guys that have asked me for that next level premium service. You can text the number 775-636-7674. My guy Costi will be the guy who will answer, and we'll figure out if the package is for you. But basically, every play at Pick Dogs Premium is weighted the exact same. It's a great system. We love that system, but some people, they wanted the other system where they wanted to know about how many units I personally put on a game. So we offer that in the All Access Club, as long with a few others like releases, updates, and a couple of other great services over there. We'll tell you about it when you text us. But if you're interested, text the number. We'll figure out a time to talk and figure out if the package is for you.
That's right, guys. So get on board here with Jay. All access for the big players. Text or call, get signed up. Roy Jay, as always, great having you show. Some folks are saying it's not fair to ask Jay these questions about who go far because you get those upsets. Sometimes the upsets kind of screw up the bracket a little bit and give a nice little easy lane for some of the teams to go with the slide in.
Yeah. I can't wait for March Madness, man. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be my first year in Vegas. A lot of us will be out there, so can't wait, man. I can't wait. I'm counting down the time.
Yep, coming down, getting close. All right, Jay. Let everybody know about your live show in the morning and, of course, in your NBA Jam session.
Yes, sir. You can catch me every morning, Monday through Friday here as I host, or not host, but I'm a part of the Pick Dogs Morning Show where Mitch hosts, and me and Rufalo are there. Wednesdays with Romanelli tomorrow, and Mondays and Fridays with Costi. Saturdays and Sundays I host, where I bring in a ton of guys you see here on the drive-thru and throughout Pick Dogs. And we have a ton of banter, great conversations on Saturdays as we go through pretty much. We try to get as many games in there as we can, Saturdays, oh my gosh, college hoops games. But it's a lot of fun on those days. Tony T pops in, so y'all should tune in on those weekend shows. A lot of fun.
Yeah, a lot of fun on those weekend shows. And hear us argue about the Pistons. I always make a case for the ugly dogs. I like to do that. So it's always fun. All right, Jay, have a great night, and we'll catch up with you again on the show tomorrow.
Thank you, Tony T. See you soon.
See you soon on Thursday. Jay Briggs here on the drive-thru. That's Jay not here on Wednesdays. I gotta get all the days right here. All right, let's continue on here on the drive-thru. Time for my pick, and let's just do an NBA rundown. Wayne was not here with us today. I handicap every game, so we'll just do a rundown tonight here. So let's get the odds up here. This is Jay's game, so let's do a rundown. I'll cover the games not covered here on the show today. Let me go back here and refresh this here. All right, Celtics and Nets going head-to-head tonight. We're seeing here the Celtics are going to be laying 8 points on the road in this one. Let me take a look here at the injury report to see where we sit there. Porzingis is out of this one. Springer and Tillman out for Boston. Cam Johnson, we know, was out of this one for the Brooklyn Nets. And I'm going to make a case here for the ugly dog here. I like the Brooklyn side here plus the 8. Let me make sure it's still 8 here unless there's been some change. We're still seeing 8, so not a whole lot of movement there. 8.5 earlier in this spot. But just the Brooklyn at home has been a decent home team. Still showing a positive net rating. The whole team's a 46% shooting at home. We'll take Brooklyn. I think it's a little too many points to give the Nets at home in this one. All right, let's continue on here. Give you thoughts here, what I feel about this one here between the Thunder and the Magic. When the Magic's healthy, they can be pretty lethal, and I like the Magic spot here at plus 2.5. Just a little too much inconsistency defensively here for this Thunder team. Biyombo, Hayward out. Orlando again. How many games in a row? Is it 5 games in a row where we have a clean injury report? I gotta look at the Magic side here. This one is on TNT as well. In this spot, it's just I'm going to go based on the fact that OKC has been a little inconsistent on the defensive end, and Orlando at home, 4th in defensive efficiency, holding teams to under 110 points per 100 possessions, a plus 6 net rating on their home court. Let's take Orlando at plus the 2.5. All right, let's continue on here on the drive-through. Let's next game up here for you guys. We're going to be looking at the one between Heat and Bucks. This is actually my free pick for the show. And for this one, I'm going to be taking the underdog here. I like the Miami Heat here in this spot with the rest. And, of course, we know Butler is not in here. That's Jay's pick. So let me hit one more up here. Up. There we go. We're going to go ahead and take the Heat here at plus 8 against the Bucks. Although the Bucks have shown a little improvement in this spot. I also like in this game, I'll give you a double play on this one because I also like the under in this spot because we've seen, actually I don't like the under in this spot because the lines moved from 227 down to 223. That's right, it was 227 overnight. The money was just pouring in on the under. Do not like the under anymore. I liked it better when it was 227 on the overnight. So no recommendation on the under in this one because the line moved to way too much. But again, this is a Miami team that can defend. We take a look over their past 5 games, 4th in defensive efficiency, holding teams to 106 points per 100 possessions. Both teams are playing at a slow pace. We know Milwaukee's been training to the under with Doc Rivers. We kind of saw that right on Sunday, right? A win but no cover there for Miami, a loss but a cover against Boston. I can see the same thing happening here where we can see a loss by the Heat, but a cover because they just play at a slow pace. We like the Heat here, plus 8. That's the free pick for me in the show today. All right, let's continue on here on the drive-through. Covering games not covered here by the Cappers. Kings and Suns going head-to-head tonight. Let's take a look here at the latest injury news here in this game. We've got Venzikoff out. He's been out for a while. Lyles, questionable. Ford, probable for Sacramento. Lee and Young are out here for the Thaddeus Young, we know, coming over. He's out tonight here for this Phoenix Suns team. And in this one, I'll be looking at the under 243, actually under 244.5. This line's moved up. We can even find 245 in some places here. It's just the Phoenix Suns. At Sacramento on the road, they score and allow 115 points per 100 possessions. And we take a look at Phoenix. They play at a slow pace at home, holding teams at 116 per 100. It's a high number here. So we'll go under the total here, 244.5 in this one between the Kings and the Suns. All right, let's continue on here on the drive-through. We'll kind of recap. We'll probably do a little bit of a breakdown on some of the games tonight. Timberwolves and Trailblazers going head-to-head, and I can only look at the Portland Trailblazers here with the points, but let me double-check the injury report. See, there's no late injury news. There's going to be some news here because now Edwards is questionable for Minnesota. McDaniels, Moore, questionable. Clark out for Minnesota. Sharp, Brown, Brogdon out. Henderson, questionable. Simons, probable. Reith, probable. So we know we're going to have Aiden, Walker, Grant, likely Simons, probable side. Scoot Henderson, probable. But Edwards is the one. Let's take a look at the news on Edwards here because he was a late addition to the injury report. Right knee soreness. You don't like it. You don't like it when you get that late news on injuries like this. Remember, he was on the injury report back on January 16th with knee tendonitis, and they said it's unrelated to that. This is a back-to-back. We are getting close to the All-Star break, so you got to wonder if Anthony Edwards will be in there tonight. The 22-year-old guard here, first-round pick in 2020 here for the Minnesota Timberwolves, who's had a pretty good season this year, averaging nearly 26 points a game, 5 rebounds, 5 assists. He sees 35 minutes a game, and looks to me that he's on the late addition of the injury report. Knee soreness is the issue, and again, you don't like those late additions because usually means they're not going to play. So that's kind of how I read these things. So I'm going to be looking here at I like the Portland even before the news. I like Portland here at plus the 8 points in this spot. And of course, Minnesota, not the greatest defensive team away from home. They don't, although they did put on a really good night, played well last night. They're allowing 47% shooting away from home this year are the Minnesota Timberwolves. And of course, we kind of look here at the Trailblazers at home. They're allowing just under 117 points per 100 possessions, a minus 3.8 net rating. So they haven't been that bad at home. So we'll take the points here with the Trailblazers. Could see a loss with a cover here for Portland. That's kind of how I see it going down here. Over or under for this game. Oh, that one is 212.5. That one is really crunching it down here. I just like the side more. We're starting to see the line move a little bit right now. There is an 8 left out there, but there's a lot of 7.5s on the board coming in. I really don't have a strong opinion on this total. It's such a low total, 212.5 now. Remember, this line opened here at, let's see where the opener came in at. Let's see. Opening here was, let me get my line service here. This game opened last night at, what was it here? We had no opening number, huh? It's not showing an opening number on my screen at least. It showed 8 opening number. It didn't show me a total open up. So the book I use is an opening number. Chris is not showing it to me here for some reason. But anyway, 212.5. That's kind of too close to the number. I prefer the side more than the total. So I would look at the Portland side. If you can get the 8, go for it. It was 8.5. Some folks are really not really chiming in on this game too much. Over under game of someone likes Jake's liking the over on Minnesota. It does seem like a real low total, but I can see this one really, really low tonight. So we'll see how this goes. Back-to-back spot here for Minnesota, but I'm preferring more the side in this game. We already covered Pistons and Lakers, and in the colleges, let's just give you some of the plays I like here that are not related here. I do like the over in Illinois State and Cincinnati. I like the over 144 there. And I do like San Diego State and Colorado State. I do like San Diego State here to cover. San Diego State has been a dominant home team this year. They've in conference, their wins have been by 11 or greater points. And Colorado State is going through a tough schedule. They're beginning a really tough scheduling spot right now. So I like the Aztecs at home. They have a very good home court, and they get really good fans turnout for these games. They make a lot of noise. Aztec in that what's the name of that arena where that's oh goodness, I forgot. I know it's named after a casino, but anyway, they're in San Diego State. Their home arena, they have a pretty good home court there. Viejas, over there is their arena there in San Diego State. So yeah, that home court's strong. I like them there. All right, we'll get to the recap here, and we'll go through the numbers here and let you guys like to get your best bets. Put them in the chat if you would, and we're gonna go ahead and recap the plays from today's show. All right, we had Alex here on Iowa State plus 1.5 against Cincinnati. Tony Brown likes Marquette lay 3.5 against Butler. Jay is on the Lakers lay the 10.5 here against the Pistons. I'll be on the Heat here plus the 8 against the Bucks. Got to be honest with you, I like we already started that Marquette game, so I don't want to go on record here with the game in progress, but I did like the other sides on those two games with Alex's and Jay's. But I can't argue the Iowa State game. I think that one was solid there. All right, that's going to do it for this edition here of the Drive Thru, guys. Make sure you guys tune in again tomorrow live here at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. We'll do it all over again. We'll bring in our cappers from Big Dogs and Sports Chat place. We'll get with the place for you in real time. Remember, to always get started with that morning show live here at 10:30 a.m. each time during the week. We have Jay, we have Mitch, we have Chris with the morning show, all our great video series here. We have Mitch's 7 picks in 5 minutes, his betting tool shows, his roundtable discussion with the professionals, also Mitch's shorts up on the board. You can check that out. We also have Chris with his Around the League from the NHL, his individual video pick videos for you. Jay's Jam Session NBA. Also, we got Rod, NHL, every game on the board. A to Z coverage from the NHL. Also a parlay there. You also get Ron Romanelli's bank shot breakdown, college basketball video picks from our man Romanelli. Also, we got Nick Metcalf first half NBA. We also have parlay videos from Brad Francis. Also video series from Brian, right? Contrarian sharp plays from Brian. Costes with his sharp trading plays. We got Big Al McMorty with his all access. You want to catch those, if you will. Mills, prop shop, as well as UFC rundown from Mills, and lots more content here, guys. So make sure you like, subscribe, set those notifications so when we're live, you're live with us to get the best plays. All right, let's get your best bets for the show tonight. We got Ray Otachi liking under 244. I think that don't know what game that was from here in some of these games. Probably going along with me here. We got Panger likes Suns lay the 4.5 in this game. Let's see what else we have here for tonight from some of the folks here. Let's see what we got here. Thunder Buddies and Detroit from Mike. He likes Thunder Buddies and Detroit. That's from Mike here tonight. And what else we have here? I think there was a Moneyline Purdue or Moneyline Iowa State from somebody tonight as well. So there we go with some of these plays. Ron Crawford's liking the San Diego State game here at -6. That is his play for that. Ron Crawford's play of the day here on the show. Also, who do we have here? Lando 86. Anytime goal from Corey Perry plus 400 there from Lando 86. Also, we've got Lando 86 team total over 2.5. We're going to think here with the team here from Lando is going to be here. I didn't get the play here. What else we have here from these guys here? All right, trying to get your best place here. Best SD like center puck line here as well. Looking at that game. And Darren Turner not liking Dinwiddie at all, right? Just a name here. And of course, Darren Turner with his best bet today likes the Magic plus the 3. We're on that one as well. And Zorglen says Lakers play the Jazz tomorrow, so they may be motivated to cover tonight. That's good. Just probably split the games before you hit the All-Star break. Texas A&M spread from T-Lo. That's his best bet today. And also we've got we had Stryker with Marquette. He's got them winning by 20 tonight. That's a big number there. So there we go with a lot of the plays here coming in here. Let's see. Yeah, they are dominated at home. So I think we've got everybody covered here on all your plays for today's show. So appreciate everybody's contributions and your best bets on the show. All right, that's going to do it for our show, guys. Let's bring in our crew tonight. Anyway, goodbye, guys. You guys have a great afternoon, evening. We'll catch up